When she was 19 in 2015, Juliet in Benin City, Nigeria, met a woman who promised her a job earning 200,000 naira, 518 US dollars, as a domestic worker in Libya. Juliet agreed, and the woman made the arrangements for her to travel from Nigeria to Libya. After a long, dangerous journey through the Sahara Desert, witnessing drivers and other men beat and rape women and girls, she arrived in Libya, only to find that she had been deceived. The madam locked Juliet in a room without food for 4 days and threatened to kill her. She told Juliet and Caroline that each had to pay a debt of $4,000 to cover travel expenses, and made them swear an oath that they would not run away. Juliet and Caroline were now under the control of the madam. The madam borrowed men to have sex with them without condoms. After a month, Juliet discovered she was pregnant, and the woman forced her to have an abortion. The trauma and exploitation continued. The woman sold Juliet to a Cameroonian man in Libya, who also sexually exploited her. After she extricated herself and moved in with a man who said he would marry her, she said the extremist armed group Islamic State, also known as ISIS, abducted them, killed her boyfriend, and only spared her life because she was pregnant. They took Juliet to an underground prison and forced her to marry a man who raped her. 3 years into this nightmare, Libyan soldiers helped her to escape, and International Organization for Migration, IOM, repatriated her to Nigeria. Since then, Juliet has been living in a shelter run by the Sisters of St. Louis, a religious organization saddled with the responsibility of rehabilitating the victims of human trafficking. For years, local and international media have been awash with such horrifying stories of Nigerian women and gifts trafficked for sexual and labor exploitation, and of migrants trapped in Libya in slave-like conditions or dying as they cross the Mediterranean Sea. These stories reflect the large and, according to the estimates, increasing problems of human trafficking within and from Nigeria in recent years. What these news reports often leave out are the problems trafficking survivors face when they are identified internally or upon returning to Nigeria, where the government's efforts to protect and assist them too often fail to respect their rights. These manners of human trafficking, especially of and in women and children, formed the burdens that bore the vision of Barkita St. Louis Empowerment Network, a religious non-governmental organization with a passion of combating against human trafficking in person and provide survivors the medical care, psychological counseling, and financial assistance they need to heal from the trauma and rebuild their lives.
The history of Barkita dates back to 1996 when I was president of Women Religious, and as a group we gathered together to fight against human trafficking. So we started a network called COSUDO. That's the Committee for the Support of the Dignity of Women. I was a founding member of that, and I worked under that umbrella. Then in the year 2007, we went to Kenya, Nairobi, and started ANAT, that's African Network Against Human Trafficking. Then in the year 2009, we started Talitakum. Talitakum is the network of all consecrated people against human trafficking. Then when we got to Nigeria, the women religious asked me to look after the Lagos branch, and I was looking after the Lagos branch of COSUDO. My contract with them ended in 2015. That was when the Sisters of St. Louis, seeing that we have a commitment to empowering women and fighting against human trafficking, decided to allow me, with the help of some of our sisters, to continue with the work. So Barkita then is a St. Louis empowerment network. It belongs to the Sisters of St. Louis.
Barkita Home of Shelter, named after the righteous patriarch St. Josephine Barkita, who was also a victim of trafficking in her early childhood, is indeed a sign of hope and freedom from all forms of slavery.
Barkita project, as we have it now, actually started in 2015 with Slaves No More, led by Sister Eugenia Bonetti, a Consolata sister from Italy. Slaves No More is our principal partner because most of our girls come from Slaves No More, and they help us with a package with which to reintegrate them. Then in 2019, the Order of Malta also became our partner and actually assisted with the completion of this present structure. So as at now, the main partners we have working in very close collaboration with us are Slaves No More and the Order of Malta. We are equally indebted to Mr. Gabi Mashoud, an ITB construction company that single-handedly reconstructed and equipped the building to its present situation that we now enjoy. We are working towards a justice-based society where women and girls and all people live in dignity, where they enjoy freedom, the freedom of the children of God. That is our vision, and that is also somehow our mission. Then what are our core values? The core values we work with are compassion, justice. We want a justice-based society. Integrity, dignity. Dignity is uppermost because we want people to live in dignity, especially women and girls who unfortunately in our society are often denied and deprived of their rights. So this is why we are committed, and we do all this in passion. And then our guiding principle is the mercy of God.
The vision of Barkita is to stop Nigerian women from unsafe migration and trafficking by letting them realize that what they see as a paradise can be hell for irregular migrants, and they do this through awareness creation, prevention, assistance, and advocacy against human trafficking and other injustices in our society, and to empower victims of human trafficking.
My experience in all these years is full of challenges. Challenges but fulfilling and satisfying. Our Holy Father, during our last meeting in Rome, said we should come and cry out against the commodification of human beings. And what does he mean by that? Treating human beings as if they were commodities, to be sold, to be bought, to be used at pleasure and then discarded. So these are the painful aspects of human trafficking, and this is what we are committed to fighting. And we believe that with the grace of God, this evil in our society will come to an end.
Barkita Empowerment Network is in collaboration with government and other NGOs within and outside the country in combating this problem of human trafficking, agencies like NAPTIP, etc.
We have a very good network with the government. NAPTIP, we collaborate, and you know NAPTIP is the government and the national agency prohibiting the trafficking in persons. That's the government arm fighting against human trafficking. We work very, very closely with them. Incidentally, I'm a member of the board of trustees of NACTAL. And we work with IOM, the International Organization of Migrants. And even in Lagos here, we have a stakeholders forum, which we belong to, NAPTIP, Salvation Army, all those working against human trafficking. So we work very closely and we collaborate very well.
I came from Abelui Botan Retreat Center in Jebode after having a workshop on human trafficking. I deemed it fit to come and have an experience with the sisters. And I must tell you, it has been a wonderful experience. I have really enjoyed my stay here and have learned a lot as well. I did some administrative work as well as having some sessions, counseling sessions with the girls. The center is well organized and the sisters are working very well. I was very happy to know that they liaise with the government. They have good collaboration with the government, NATIP, IOM, and some other NGOs within and outside the country. They are well connected, and I love the work they are doing because they are working very hard to combat this menace, human trafficking.
The home has the capacity to house 30 of our treasures conveniently, alongside our quarters to house 4 women with babies. The home is aesthetically constructed in a serene climate.
The sitting room. Then the room with 2 double bunks. It accommodates 4 treasures at a time. These are their wardrobes where they keep their personal effects. And here is their kitchen.
This is a shelter, and the ladies we have in this shelter are from different parts of the world. When I say they are from different parts, they are Nigerians, but returning from different parts of the world. We have some from Germany, we have a good number from Italy, Burkina Faso, Dubai, Ghana, and all that. So we have them from all those areas. Now, what actually happens is that in many of those places, we have sisters who are doing the similar work that we do here. And then at times, some of them are also deported by governments because, no government wants this. They are like nuisances, liabilities, and no government. There was a time the word that we are using was to flush them out of their system, which is very sad that human beings are looked upon like that. But what actually happens is that either when they are ready to return voluntarily or when they are deported by the governments or deported by any agencies, we are contacted. And then when we are contacted, we go to the airport and wait for them. When we get them from the airport, we bring them to the house here, to our shelter. And the first thing we do is we have a party in their honor. And that party is called a no place like home party. Because you know, when people are deported, at times they are deported from where they are picked up. They come empty-handed. They are frustrated. And we have to reassure them that once there is life, there is hope. So when they come then, after that initial days, we have a period of rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is mostly counseling and then family tracing. And at times you see, unfortunately, many are trafficked by their families, or their families are in the know about it. So when they come like that, they are bitter because of the terrible experiences that they have had. They are bitter with their families. So we try to reconcile them with the families. That's what happens during the period of rehabilitation. And in the course of the counseling, we are able to identify any skill or what trade they are interested in, both the one they are interested in and the one they have ability for. And then when we discover that, if they already have any skill, we try to brush them up to perfect it. If they don't have any skill at all, they learn the skill. Like some of them have learned hairdressing, catering, and some are going to school. Some very brilliant ones, they go back to school. We have put some of them in school, and one is processing her admission to the university. So those are the things, you know. Then if they have learned the skill, then reintegration, because the shelter is a very temporary place. You know, some stay here for about 3 months, some stay for 2 years, some 2.5. It depends on when they are ready to move on. Then when they are ready to move on, we get accommodation for them where they can live in dignity, because you know, for as long as they are here in the shelter, they are not living on their own. So the whole idea is that they live in dignity. You get them accommodation and then get them a shop or set them up in business so they can live on their own and get, like yesterday, one of them is very happily married. Yesterday we went for the naming ceremony of the child. You know, those are the things, and before then we attend some of their weddings and all that. So we have many success stories and we are very happy about that.
We take care of the accounting department of the center. We prepare budget for each of the treasures in our care. We ensure all their financial records are being kept using the proper accounting principle. We ensure credibility, accountability, and transparency in all our dealings. At the end of this video, you will see an account details where you can support our projects.
We sensitize the entire public on the various modes on which this menace thrives and ways of preventing it. Nevertheless, we do not leave the already made victims uncared for, as we have programs laid down to carefully rehabilitate and empower these treasures through professional counsels and trainings, which spans for 3 months at our home. We then try to reintegrate these gems into the society, and if possible, to their original families.
When these girls come, they are so traumatized, they are depressed, they see their life as so useless, and they feel that there's nothing good about them anymore. So, but when they come, the counselor works with them, especially at the first time they come. We try to help them realize that, yes, life is not yet over with them, and to let them have a rethink and come back. When we give them this workshop, their minds, we try to reset their mind, because all they understand over the years, especially when they were trafficked, is just staying on the street and doing all sorts of being used. During the counseling sessions, we're able to discover a lot of talents, a lot of gifts that many of them have. And with that, we now begin to work with them and find out what exactly do they want to do.
When we look at the aspect of the religion, which I focus much about, we start from the 1st to the 10th commandment. They look at it that the sins that I've committed can God forgive me? But I give them a series of examples. Those that disobey God, those that obey God. We open Bible, we read together, we share experience together. From there, they know that they have not even done anything up to these people. We use the prodigal son as an example, which they see. I said, your journey is just like a prodigal son that have left and you come back, and God receive you and God bless you. So see yourself as one of the child of God, that a good things can come out from you. And we are doing well today.
From inception, 63 treasures have passed through the safe house. 30 have been successfully rehabilitated. 7 are presently undergoing rehabilitation in the safe house, while 26 have been reconciled back to their families.
Actually, the bond between us and them never seems to break, because even after we've set them up in business and we are monitoring, and the whole idea is to evaluate and to advise them on how to carry on. Even many years after that, there is still connection, because when we have our Christmas party, they all come back. You'll be amazed, even the people in Benin City, those that went to Benin City, worry, that have left us and are settled, they will be calling and say, sister, we don't want to miss the Christmas party. And like the 30th of July is the day, the World Day Against Human Trafficking. Usually we have rallies and all that, but with the way this COVID something, we are not having rallies, but we are inviting them so that those of them who can come, they will come and we meet together. So even though we set them up, the bond still continues.
Every man has needs, and these needs culminate into the essence of life itself. The need to feel loved, valued, and appreciated are paramount to fulfill our psychological needs. This is what we do at Barkita Empowerment Network. We fulfill those needs, creating a justice-based society. At Barkita, we help to restore human dignity